We are back with episode 3 of Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World. I'm getting better at saying it, so that's good. The plus side is we finally hit 200 likes on episode 2. Took us a little while to get there, so here is episode 3. The other plus side, maybe a minus for some of you, depending on your preference, but it took us long enough that now episode 3 is dubbed in English, so I'm going to be switching over to the English dub. I'll probably make a few comments on whether I like the characters in English or I like them better in Japanese during the viewing, so expect that. That'll be fun, but if you want episode 4 for this, let's say 150 likes on this video will get you episode 4, plus members will see it first because they always do. So if you want to become a YouTube member, hit that button down below. Also, if you like this hat, it says Power Rangers in Japanese. It's a little wink and a nod if you get it, because that's what this is, Japanese Power Rangers. You can get it over at tokutrash.tv. It comes in different colors as well. That's where you can get all my merch. And then watch me come stream on Kick every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, where we watch the newest episodes of Tokusatsu like Kamen Rider Gabu and #1 Sentai Gojuger right now, if you want to see that. And I react to those live there as well, the full episode on screen where you can watch it. So without further ado, please enjoy episode 3 of The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World.
I'm finally back at last.
Yo, tell us, Don!
Okay, so they're both like Idra's lower tone than I thought she would be, and Togo is a much higher, or I guess Togo's a lower tone than I thought he would be too. I thought his voice would be much higher and like, I don't know, peppy. This sounds kind of Valley dude bro-y. If you like, it sounds like a regular California kid, whereas I kind of expected a little more like, we're gonna save the world. I don't know. Deku's a bad example. I don't watch a lot of anime. I'm sorry. But it's different than I thought they would be for sure. And definitely different from the Japanese version. Right now I'm liking the Japanese versions better, but I've like listened to 2 seconds of the English voice actors. So let's keep going.
No telling when he'll lust after your luscious body.
The YouTube comments doesn't like it when I bring it up. So I'm not gonna bring it up and we'll just move past it. What do you say?
A minor castration. No, not my midbits!
We're moving. We're keep on going on. I will say a lot of people wanted Johnny Young Bosch cast as Red for obvious reasons. He's a Power Ranger. This is a show about a Power Ranger stuck in another world. Johnny Young Bosch, super popular voice actor in the anime space. But I will say, I don't think now seeing, 2 episodes in Japanese and this episode in English, I don't think Johnny Young Bosch's voice fits Red at all. So maybe he can pop up somewhere else, but I'm kind of happy he didn't get cast as the main character in the show.
It's noon and you're going at it like rabbits.
There's that dude that I like. He looks sick. He looks sick, and the more I look at Red, the more I want his Kazuna 5 jacket. I think that would be a cool cosplay.
For the crime of lewd exhibitionism in front of the personification of purity.
All right, third strike. I can't not talk about it. This is I feel like I'm being misconstrued in the comments of like, he doesn't like fan service, he doesn't like boobs, that's crazy. No, this is a show that I could see myself recommending to people, younger people, more children on the children's side, or like, my nieces and nephews who like Power Rangers but have no new Power Rangers or like anime. The problem is that this is there, that like I can't recommend it because it's like, oh, but half of the show is weirdly about sex. Wait, it is what it is. So like I can't recommend it to those people, which is a bummer because I would like to recommend them new anime and shows that we can watch and talk about together. It's just not going to be this one. The other thing is somebody in the comments pointed out that this show incorporates tokusatsu tropes really well, which I agree with, but the fan service and lewdness of it is an isekai trope being thrown in because it takes the 2 genres and mashes them together. And I was like, oh, I get it. That makes sense. That's a good way to explain it. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but it makes sense.
He's doing just fine, I assure you.
Is he actually fine? Because that was a weird shot that didn't show his face. Maybe there's just a big hole in his head and he's fine other than that, but it feels weird not to show his face there.
Anyone would be able to obtain such advanced abilities.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to use that? That's crazy. What did the old dude want then? I don't remember what was... Was he protecting something in episode 2? I think they were just hunting in the dungeon and he was there, right?
They take over their bodies and transform them into a monstrous...
That makes sense. So the old dude had already gotten what he wanted, whatever it was, and then the seed grew too much and turned him into a beast. The monster of the week, as it were.
Never say her name without her title, you cur!
I had to look up who this dude's voice was because it's so familiar, and it's Bradley Gareth, who played Ghoul in Gundam Witch from Mercury, which was also an anime that I loved. So it was like itching my brain, and I was like, who is this? It sounds good. He sounds great. He sounds good here.
He's in the red!
All right, so it's my first time hearing the, henshin in this English dubbing, and it sounds like it's missing something. I don't know. It just sounds like it sounds very, very clean, but like almost too clean. I'm just not used to the henshins feeling that like dubbed over. Obviously, it's an anime dub, so that's what it is. But it's got no like grime rasp. I don't know how to put it. It just sounds way too clean for like when I think about a henshin, what it would sound like. But it's fine. I definitely prefer the Japanese version, but that's also might be because I don't speak Japanese, so I'm reading and I'm not listening as much as I should be. But yeah, there's just something, a little something missing there, a little sauce,
Second holy sword!
Okay, wait, that was cool as fuck. I saw the sword and I was like, man, that's a cool sword. And now it has modes and I'm like, need it. Take my card. Another thing from this show that I want to buy. I need it. That's a sick looking sword. The dude's in Monster Hunter.
My word. What is that?
Zordon had a rule for Power Rangers to like never escalate the battle. Wait till your enemy escalates the battle and everything. So like Lowji definitely escalated it. But this might be a little bit of overkill. Like Red is a Sentai and all those tropes, but he's also just an idiot where he doesn't get that this is overkill, but everybody else does.
I'll admit, I got kind of carried away.
Okay, at least he admitted it admitted it later, so he's not a total idiot. He's not a total lost cause.
I'm just a big fan! Oh!
It came down, I was like, bro, you don't need this sword. You can't even slap him out of the air. This is smart. I dig this. This is more stuff like this. The battles aren't, like the fights themselves aren't super visually pleasing. Listen, it's no Ufotable. It's no, like, I've seen better anime fights, but they very much just do because the fighting isn't the biggest part of the show, you know?
Just that I've heard them all before.
Togo knows what a rival ranger is. Togo knows what a sixth ranger is. Togo knows what, every villain that turns sides are. That's just what Lowji is. Lowji's either a sixth ranger or a black ranger who like doesn't like to take orders from the red, and then a couple episodes down the line he's like, you know what? You're not that bad. It's gonna happen.
Apparently, the reigning lord may have gotten...
That walking just made me laugh. I don't know why I paused it and had to say something about it. It's just the walking is very funny.
Togo Asagaki, you worm!
Why was the best animated part like his close up on his face, just veins bulging out and everything? I like Lowji. Lowji's fun. More of Lowji and Togo shenanigans, please. Maybe not 3 episodes down the line. Push them making up until, the end of the season, because I'm digging this.
And settling mana covers the whole town.
Hey, it's just like that the eye thing that she alluded to earlier in the episode. The magical, that you guys know what I'm saying. The magical fortress around the town that's protecting them.
And there's a chance it could be a privilege spell.
A privilege spell. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, princess.
Bring an age of order and tranquility to a city once ruled by greed and...
This dude's definitely psycho, but those monsters look cool as hell. Like, I get Resident Evil vibes from them. They look cool as hell.
You should take their hands. Show them the way yourself.
All right, his voice actor's growing on me. I just expected a little higher pitched naivety, if that makes sense. Naivety, however you say it. That's what I expected from like this Red Ranger, and it's probably because that's more in line with the Japanese voice actor, but it's growing on me. I like the stern, like confident speech there. he's a good Togo.
The best course of action? Use him as bait while we probe for weak spots.
I see no problem with that. Lowji the goat. Other than his weird fascination with this young princess, Lowji the goat.
The sight of his brutal defeat brings me joy.
Like I said, Lowji the goat. His suit breaking off like crystals, actually beautiful. It's stuff like that that I didn't think about that you can do in anime that you can't do in tokusatsu. Or guys, you can do in tokusatsu, it just costs a little more. It's stuff like that that like makes the show like, oh, put a little bit more effort into it, and that's what you get. And it's not just a flash of light. Mwah, chef's kiss. I didn't say this last time, but like her suit is pretty sick. It's like a Majin style suit, but in, you know, the Kizuna style. It looks great. I want to see this in the show, even if I hate that it's just a, you know, ending thing, but it looks really cool. No notes. All right. Shout out to episode 3 for introducing me to my goat, Lowji. It is what it is. The dude rules. The dude rules. I'm hoping his obsession with the princess is just like a duty thing and not like a weird thing, but I don't trust this show yet from everything it showed me. So we'll see. But other than that, I liked the episode. It's a good setup for next week. We get a 2-parter, which is great. I love that. I love the idea of the monsters of the week that they gave, that they have the seed implanted to them, which gives them a privilege spell, which like basically grants a wish. I think that's really cool. And it's a good equivalent to a lot of the tropes used in, you know, live action tokusatsu, Henshin Hero stuff. I'm loving this show so far. The dub, I hate to say it because I'm such a dub diehard guy, an English dub diehard guy. Like I think if there's English dubs of things, one, it's more accessible to everyone. I would love English dubs, more English dubs of live action tokusatsu stuff, live action Henshin Hero stuff. Like I watched Ultraman Blazar and Zet all the way through because it was so easy to watch with a dub where I can just turn it on, sit there and watch it and not have to read the whole time. I know that's kind of a weird take, but I love not reading. I love not reading my TV that I'm watching, and then I can focus on the visuals and everything. So I'm a dub person. This dub, I feel, is not as strong as the Japanese version, and I've never said that ever about anything that I watch. I've always watched it and I'm like, yeah, I'm great with the English dub. English dub's perfect. That's fine. Who cares? And this one, I can like actually feel like, oh man, I'm kind of missing the Japanese voice actors for Togo and Idira. Like, it is what it is. I did 2 episodes, and somebody in the comments of the last one was like, oh, well, you already started on Japanese. You can't switch to English. And I was like, yeah, I can. It's going to be a little bit harder than I thought it would be. It's going to be a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but we're going to keep going with the English dub because, you know, we're caught up now, or they're past us, so we got to catch up to them, the English dub version. But other than that, I enjoyed this episode. It was a good setup episode. It introduced us to the princess and Lowji in a real way that the last episode didn't, and I think I found my new character in the show. It is what it is. Lowji the goat. Hashtag Lowji the goat. Use that everywhere. Unless Lowji turns out to be weird towards the princess in a way that wouldn't make him the goat, which then, never mind. Not Lowji the goat. But I'm continuing to be impressed and enjoying the show to the fullest. I think it's really fun. It really gives me a lot that I've felt like I was missing in past animes when I went to watch them for tokusatsu stuff, but we talked about all that in episode 1 and 2. Don't forget, 150 likes gets you episode 4 of this. YouTube channel members get episode 4 first, so go sign up. You get all my videos early that way. Everything tokusatsu based and a little bit of anime. Anything Henshin Hero based. Let's just call it that. Anything Henshin Hero based is what this channel is about. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome. That's left, right, go. Got a rollie for the brunch and a panic for the show. That's left, right, go. Got a big new